ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Dirty Pat Walsh. It's Friday morning. I'm having a dip of Stoker Straight in honor of my friend Suit and Tie Dip and Chew Guy, because this is his everyday dip. He put up a really cool video about pinching your dip. Now, that was the general theme of the video, but there was a lot in that video. I found it one of the best videos he's ever made, because it talked a lot about like life in general. Like he talks, like you can relate most things to most things in some way. You know, he talked a lot about being your own person. You know, not bandwagoning, not trying something because somebody says it's not cool or whatever, you know, effeminate or whatever, you know. And my line is, you never know if you like it till you try it, you know. I come from the school of fucking try everything once, at least, and see where it takes you. Now, granted, that's gotten me in a lot of trouble in life. A lot of trouble. With drugs, with women, with alcohol, cigarettes, dip, you know. Certainly, like, I've been dipping since I was a teenager, you know. Should I have started it? Probably not, but I did. But yeah, you got to make your own decisions in life. You gotta make your own choices. You know, don't follow the herd. You know, it's very important. I found that video. So Suit and Tie Dip and Chew Guy, thanks for making that video, because I think underneath your general theme, you actually talked about a lot of very important issues for people, especially young people who may be watching dip videos, to understand about the ways of the world, you know. Got to stand on your own 2 feet and be your own person, you know. That's about right. So, but in my travels yesterday, you know, I'm one to poke my head in the pawn shop from time to time, right? And I have a friend who works in the. Hold on just a second. I have a friend who works in the pawn shop downtown, the big one, and it's just called the Hog Shop. And he wanted to. I popped in because he had a bunch of metal finger picks that he wanted to give me, and a couple of these were mine already, but he gave me a bunch of them, and he's got more for me, and which is great because I'm trying to get my washboard cooking up here, and I gotta find, you know, thimbles are kind of hard to find. There's a place. Well, I gotta talk to Washboard Hank again, but there's a place to get them, but. Problem is, I have fucking gorilla fingers, man. Like, I have fucking big fat finger. I have big hands, and I've never found a thimble that fits on any of my fingers, even my pinky. So we shall see. But in the meantime, these finger picks will do quite well indeed. But anyhow, I was in the pawn shop, and you know, I'm all about the battery-powered amplifiers. I love battery-powered amps. Small things that you can carry with you, go busking with and stuff like that. And, you know, I've been using this little Dan Electro Honeytone that I got a few months ago around Christmas. And it's great. But the thing about it is it's so light that you can't, it's not stable on the stage. You have to kind of clip it to something or brace it. I've used it for performing, and it works great, but I found something better. This little bad boy here, look at that. Totally stable little amp, little battery-powered amp, and it sounds like a fucking demon. It's awesome. It cost me $30. And, yeah, it's got, you can hook a guitar strap on it, strap it around your shoulder. But, and it feeds back like crazy, which is often a problem when you play harmonica through an amp. It's dealing with the feedback. Now, I've never been much of a pedal guy. I'll try them and I'll find that they'll be, things will work better without them. But anyway, I have this little pedal here called a tube drive, and I figured this would be good for boosting my signal. But really, it just gave me more feedback through my Dan Electro, so I haven't been using it. But through this thing, it actually helps me rein in the feedback, so I can control it better. So that's all very good, and well. I got to get myself sorted because I got gigs coming up. I've been tweaking my rig, and all of a sudden I got a new microphone, and all has changed. Not everything's changed, but things. It's just good. It's good because I'm getting more. Things are tightening up. So that's good. It's weird doing shows just as a harmonica player now, because like for 25 years, since 1994, I've been performing as a solo folk blues musician, and in town. And now, if there's one genre of music that I really fucking cannot stand, 95% of the time, in modern days anyway, is the guy with an acoustic guitar. The guy who pulls out an acoustic guitar at the parties, it's just, you always see like posters of some folk artist you've never heard of coming to town, and they're always like posing with their guitar, and like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I've never felt a need to do that. And I actually shy away from it. So that's been part of my incentive for playing shows just as a harmonica player, because it breaks me out of the solo guy with an acoustic guitar mold, right? And offers something a little different to the people. And it's more entertaining for me because I like playing harmonica best of all. And it's easy to carry. I was talking with Hillary yesterday about it, and it's everything I have now for a gig. I can pack in my little baggage, this little thing here, and I don't know if you saw that, but it's just my little carry case, and that's one case to carry. That's all. I can carry everything in that case, including my amp. And, whereas for the last 25 years playing solo shows, I got to carry my guitar, maybe a second guitar, a harmonica rack, all my harmonicas. It's just a whole lot of shit to carry. Now, being where I am in life now, which is half mentally disabled and half physically disabled, it's hard for me to get around, especially in the winter here. Everything's ice. And, I walk with a cane everywhere I go, as I've mentioned before. And so it's nice when you just have one box to carry, because I can still walk to my gigs with my cane, And but anyhow, there's other things I want. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about that I found really interesting is when I was at the Reserve, cans of dip. When they were advertised, they'd say like, for a roll, 60, 75 for a puck. This is a puck of dip. $12.95 or whatever, right? Isn't that cool? A puck. I'm Canadian, and I never even thought of that. It's the same size as a fucking hockey puck. It looks like a hockey puck. I just thought that was very Canadian and pretty cool. So a puck and dip. I never thought of that one before. I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyhow, all the recording is done. All the RPM challenges are now submitted. The deadline was midnight last night. I fired mine off about 3 in the afternoon yesterday. It's all done. No more recording with Tyler. Although we are going to continue as a band, which is very exciting to me. I think we're going to rehearse on Sundays. So that'll be cool. But all the recording is done. All the pressure's off. Now we can just relax and play music, you know. So that's cool. And yeah, Edward Morton was asking me about like snuff. He was confused about snuff terms, right? Now, okay, snuff. Now we all call dip different things. Some people call it dip. Some people call it snuff. Some people call it chew. I usually call it snuff, mainly because my go-to brand for years has been Copenhagen Snuff. The reason they call it that is because it has a very, very fine cut. This is nasal snuff. This is dry nasal snuff. As you can see, it's just a fine powder in the can. You take a light little bump of it and sniff it up your nose. I'm not going to do any right now because I just used some spray in my nose, so I want to let that settle first. But yeah, so this is what you pinch and you sniff. This or this. This is just an empty can full of picks, but this is also called snuff because you reach in, grab a pinch. Now the term snuff doesn't come from sniffing. It comes from the act of pinching, like you're snuffing out a candle, right? That's where that term comes from as far as I know. So it's just like something you can pinch, right? This is an American dry snuff called Tubros that I'm quite fond of. See, I've been using this for months, and this is all that's down in this whole tube. People dip this. People do dip this. Winnington Outdoors just did a great video where he dipped a bunch of dry snuff. You can see the puffs of fucking snuff coming out of him like a dragon. It's great. But I love this stuff. And the reason it's called Scotch snuff is it's not a very pleasant term because from what I gather that term comes from a Scotsman pinching the last out of a penny to get, it's like saying Scottish people are cheap, I guess, which I think is kind of a lousy thing to say, but that's why they call it that, from what I've heard. But yeah, snuff, you dry snuff, you pinch it, you sniff it. American products, these are like just tobacco. They smell kind of like charcoal. European products, this is a nice European product. It's mentholated. This is my favorite tobacco product of all time. And dip is just this. And this is chew. This is chewing tobacco, like a red man, like a loose leaf. You don't call this snuff because you grab a fucking wad of it. You know what I mean? Like blammo, you're done. So yeah, that's the difference between snuff, dip, and chew. Anyhow, this video is fucking rambling as hell, but I just wanted to say happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Real talk, I hope you're getting over your illness. Check out Suit and Tide, Dip and Chew Guy's new video, pinching for beginners. It's a very good video, not like for lots of reasons. So the underlying current of it says much more than just talking about tobacco to me. Anyhow, so yeah. Anyhow, later on today, I got a day off today, I think, so I'm going to try to compile all my comments from the past week and do my weekly shout-out video today, hopefully, if I can get around to it. But until then, I'll see you later. Be well, stay free, and always be yourself. Right on.